Hi, welcome to night 3 of Chag. We're already almost halfway through. Hannukah's never been more magical. So I know we're halfway through the holiday already, but I thought it would be great to do a small gift guide for anyone who's not done Hannukah before or has Jewish friends and they're not really sure what they're supposed to do. I think most Jewish people who I think most Jewish people who have celebrated Hannukah are familiar with our gifting norms, which I talked a little bit about in my first video about like Hannukah basics, but typically it's a couple small gifts and then one really big gift, which I don't think is that dissimilar from Christmas practices. So basically you get, a couple fun bookmarks, maybe some lotions, a candle, and then like an iPod. Like big present, little baby presents, so there's one thing per night. As for like, if you just have a coworker or a friend who's Jewish who like you are in like the gifting circle with, like somebody who if they were Christian you would give a Christmas present, get them something small. Although I have given and received Hannukah presents as an adult, they are mostly for children. Making sure everyone gets a little gift every night. It's just a nice thing you can do for the kiddos in your life, but they're not like, the be all and end all of the holiday for me. Like the fun part for me is letting the menorah, you say the blessings, and you argue with people online about the nature of the holiday itself. That's, what really brings the magic as an adult. So this is going to be a pretty short one, just because gift giving on Hannukah isn't that different from like normal gift giving. If you were to get someone a small token for their birthday or whatever, and like, even just a card for Hannukah is a nice thing to do for somebody. I did in one of my previous videos link a bunch of Jewish artisans. I will be doing that again in this video. If you do want to buy anything for a Jewish friend, I will say buying Judaica is pretty hit or miss, because I have had people in the past buy me Judaica and I'm like, I have 6 of these. Because a lot of people who are fortunate enough to be raised in like, kind of vibrant Jewish communities and have family heirlooms, they really don't need another Kiddush cup. If you really want to get someone something special, you can ask them like, hey, what are you looking for? Because, gifts don't have to be surprises to be special. So that's something to think about. If you see something that's just kind of like funny, like, like a fun in-joke with your friend, or even if you just like, oh, well, I saw this puzzle and it looked neat. That's great. It's mostly just, a signifier, a token of your appreciation, much like Christmas present would be for a Christian friend. I will say maybe don't get them something that's like, kind of holiday coded, like, I don't know. I also did get a text from a friend recently who was asking when Hannukah ended because she wasn't sure she was going to be able to get me a present before then. And I was like, it's fine. Like, I have definitely received holiday presents after the end of Hannukah, like during the Christmas season. And like, that's fine with me. Like, first of all, I don't expect anything from anybody. Like, one of the fun things about being Jewish around the holidays is lowered expectations. Like, I don't expect anyone to get me anything. So like when someone does, it's kind of like, oh, that's nice. A good time to bring a present, if you wanted to bring one, would be like if you're invited to a Hannukah party and you wanted to bring somebody some chocolate, or like you wanted to bring like a pie or something like that. That's perfectly fine. We don't really have like a gift giving etiquette for the holiday that extends beyond what is done for children, just because I think amongst adults, gift giving on Hannukah is a little less prominent. The important part of the holiday is, the miracle and the celebration of that. Whenever I've received, like a generic Hannukah gift, it's just kind of nice that people remember that I'm Jewish. I'm pretty vocal about being Jewish, not just in the internet, but also in my personal life. So it is nice that people recognize, like, oh, she's not Christian. We will not inundate her with things around Christmas. I will say the best gift you can give any Jew on Hannukah is not asking questions that they have not offered the answers to. Like, there's a difference between asking in good faith a close friend, like, oh, do you plan to celebrate this year? Do you need anything? Do you want to do something together? And like asking a coworker who you barely know, like, what do you even do for that? Is that even a real holiday? Jews face a lot of uncomfortable and often inflammatory questions throughout the year about our different holiday practices, and like the best thing you can do honestly is just let Jews be Jews, let's do our thing. I'd say the best Hannukah presents I've received mostly were when I was a kid, because it was things like, my first iPod. Back then it was the beginning of kids getting their own MP3 players, so I was like the first of my friends to have one, and it was really cool. Sometimes people get you really fancy chocolate, and that's nice. I would always get like art sets from my aunts and uncles because I loved pastels, so those were always really fun. If you feel like you're kind of a bad gift giver, looking up gift guides can be kind of a toss-up. Because for men, it's all like, oh, this cologne and whiskey stones and beard care. And it's like, well, that's pretty limiting. Toxic masculinity hurts everyone, including in gift giving. I'm kind of belong to the it's the thought that counts camp, but in kind of a specific vein. I believe it's a thought that counts, as long as you're thinking of the other person and not yourself. I know that we've all been the person who receives a gift and it's like, this person bought this because they liked it and not because they knew I would. Buying something whimsical and small, it doesn't have to be expensive. Some of the best gifts I've ever received have been like really just like little tokens, like something that shows somebody is thinking of you. And also thrift stores are a great place to find things, especially Judaica, because a lot of people will just donate things after somebody dies and not go through it. And you can find something like that belonged to somebody and restore it to a Jewish home. And I'm actually going to talk in another video about like thrifted and antique Judaica and like the kind of the best practices behind that. But that's not really what this video is about. This is more like about gift giving. Basically, you know, follow your heart on this one. If you know the person you're giving a gift well, you'll know what they want. Or if you're not good at gifts, you'll be able to kind of like MacGyver something. A lot of people still have public Amazon wish lists, so maybe that's something you can think about. I will say, as long as they're not gluten-free, Danish butter cookies are always a score, especially because afterwards you can use the tin to like hold sewing supplies. So that's great. I will say one thing maybe to stay away from is ugly Hanukkah sweaters and shirts that have puns on them about Hanukkah, because I promise you if they want those, they have bought them for themselves. It's not really my thing. I find them really funny, but I know that I wouldn't wear them all the time, and I have enough problems collecting garbage without like buying more novelty items. Unless this friend is someone who already like is big on novelty items, don't buy them a shirt they're gonna wear once a year, unless you know that this is a friend who's like that. It's a very specific kind of person. You know who I'm thinking of. So anyway, that was my brief gift guide for this Hanukkah. If you're celebrating Hanukkah with someone you love, I hope you get them a great gift. If you're not celebrating Hanukkah but just want to learn a little more, please tune in for the next couple videos. We have 5 more days and then we will be finished, but I hope that you'll stick around for the other videos on this channel. And if you do want to put in questions for the Q&A, you can leave those in the comments or go over to the community tab. I have a post there. Chag Sameach, and I'll see you guys tomorrow night. Bye-bye.